Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Service Without Excuses podcast. Glad to have you with us tonight. Want to also thank our sponsor, Sotellus, Troy from Sotellus.com. I call it the Cadillac of review management software. I use it in my business, and that's how we power it. And that was one of my big inspirations behind writing the book that I have coming out shortly. Welcome to the Review Society, because we're here. All right. I want to thank and welcome our guest tonight. This one's huge to me personally. I've had my staff in the past, the company has wanted to go out to his facility and come back in awe. And that's good. We had a nice facility, about 12,000 square foot. I had all the trucks, the air movers, the blowers, everything looked really great. And people were like, wow, what a beautiful setup. And then they went out there and told me everything I needed to do differently. So it was a good lesson, and that's what you want to hear. My guest tonight is Howard Partridge. Howard Partridge started out of the trunk of his car a carpet cleaning business 30 plus years ago. I think I just read that. So it's been a while, but truly an honor tonight to have you on here. Howard, welcome, sir.
My pleasure. Great to be here. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, one of the things I wanted to focus on, I'm reading the book. It's behind me right now, FTI. It's behind you too as well, which is perfect. Mm-hmm. I've read your other books. They're all good. I love the community book. I really do. And I've got a lot of your stuff up behind here too as well, the different operational stuff, because it's really good. I have actually some of your other stuff down here from the past. Sure. I actually read it and it helped a lot. Our business changed from a carpet cleaning business to a restoration business. Right now, I currently just do carpet cleaning, more high-end stuff, paver cleaning. We're here in New Jersey. I believe your wife is originally from New Jersey, somewhere
Absolutely.
in the Garden
Yes,
State.
Yeah.
Where's she from in the state?
She is from Morristown.
Morristown, okay. A little bit, about an hour north of here. We're on the Jersey Shore. So, and I tell people the Jersey Shore is not the TV show. It has nothing to do. It's a beautiful place with incredible, I could be at the ocean in 10 minutes. It's not the same ocean you're at, but it is a nice, it's nice. Sure. It really is, you know, anytime between spring and late fall or so. But welcome again, my friend. And some of the things I wanted to get into, I obviously was reading into different parts, the 4 different parts, the inspiration, what's behind it. To me personally, inspiration is I play music. I've been playing music my whole life. Mm-hmm. When I think of a marketing idea or a business idea, I'm literally playing the guitar or the bass in order to do it, because that's how the ideas come out of it. Just like some of your stories about sitting on the beach in Destin, Florida. If I'm saying that correctly, I'm probably not, but it could
Destin, be. Yes.
Destin, okay. Yeah. Getting organized, both life and personal, training, ops in marketing, and the sense of community and the community that's around you, which is what I really liked. It was not the community I thought I was going to read about when I first started it. And I realized, look, I understand. It's not at all what I anticipated. So I wanted you to go into some of these things. Some of the reasons entrepreneurs tend to fail to implement. I just gave you a personal story myself of what I did, and it was stupid. But you can't go back. You can just go forward and learn from it and try and make a difference. But please.
Well, yeah. So we all make mistakes. The thing is that what I like to ask people is if everybody has goals, right? So if you did everything that you already know to do, you know that you should do, would you be more successful? And the answer is yes, of course, right? And so the number one reason that people don't reach their biggest dreams and goals is something I call FTI, or failure to implement. And and everybody agrees with that, everybody resonates with that. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner or a leader or whatever it is. And then there are 7 different areas of life. There's 5 different areas of business. And so there's a lot to do. And so when you ask people, well, why do you think people just don't implement, even when they know what to do, they know the benefit of doing it, they know the outcome, they'll say, well, lack of time, lack of motivation, lack of discipline, and all those things. Well, lack of time, everybody has the same 24 hours a day. Lack of discipline, yeah, that's true. Lack of focus, yes. But the real question is why? Lack of motivation, yeah, but why? And so what I've realized in, working with Zig Ziglar and working with just a lot of great people and my own experiences, I've been thinking about this literally for over 30 years. And why do people do the things that they do? I'm just curious like that. I'm curious about human behavior. And Zig Ziglar said that the secret ingredient of desire, or the secret ingredient of success, is desire. Napoleon Hill said that you got to have a burning desire. Where does desire come from? It comes from a vision. It comes from something that we see in our mind. We see how that business can grow. We see that we can reach those goals. We see that we could be healthy. We could see that we could be happier or healthier or more prosperous, or we could have a great business or whatever. We finally see it. And I call that inspiration. And where inspiration, because inspiration is different from motivation. Motivation comes from external sources, and inspiration comes from inside when finally the lights go on, right? So we don't have desire because we don't have a vision. We don't have a vision because we really don't deep down believe that it's possible. We either don't believe that we believe that we can't do it. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe that the economy and this and that and the other thing is going to cooperate with us. We don't believe that we can find good people. We don't believe that we believe that it's too late. We believe that, you know, that we don't believe that it's going to be, the juice is going to be worth the squeeze, that I'm going to do all this work and it's not going to work. And so I believe personally, and what I write in this book is that people really don't implement because of a limiting or limited belief system, things that are going on inside of them that they're unaware of. And so we have to take the time to think about, what do you really believe? And that's really what this book is about, is that I lay out 10 principles of phenomenal performance. And your principles come from what you truly believe. Now, you can say that I could tell you that I believe in health, but if I eat a quart of ice cream every night before going to bed, I like ice cream more than I like being healthy. Let's just be honest. Okay. You know, you do what you value what you do. So there are 4 keys. The first one is inspiration. And what I mean by that is when, you know, what one person can do, another can do. And what's going to inspire you is to see other success stories and hang around people who inspire you. I mean, I watch a lot of documentaries. I read tons of books like you do. And I mean, really, when I felt like a slave to my business, I started learning about systems. I read Michael Gerber's book, and for the first time, the lights went on, and I said, whoa, wait a minute. I can have a turnkey business? You mean a business that operates without me? And guess what? I believed it, and I took action on it. The second one is organization. And so, you know, it's been said that more time is wasted looking for things that are lost than anything else. And so we have to get our business organized. We have to get our life organized. We have to get our time organized. And we were talking about that earlier. Time management is really life management. And there's a lot to do. I mean, if you're a business owner, there's a lot to do in your business, and everybody's busy today. I was on with a client just a few minutes ago, and at my company, and what we do at Phenomenal Products is we train people and coach people, mostly business owners and leaders, to help them and their teams achieve a higher level of performance. Is basically what we do. And, you know, he was just talking about what a big load he has on him, you know, and they don't have the people that they need right now. And he's got 2 teenagers. So just that alone. And, you know, they're participating in sports and things like that. So we've got to get our life organized. We got to get our time organized, and that'll give us a lot of freedom. You know, Zig Ziglar says, and he's, was my mentor, Zig Ziglar, and I actually helped Tom run the Ziglar Corporation today. I'm the director of training operations there, and in essence, a business partner of Tom Ziglar's, and I'm basically their management consultant, if you will, and I make all the major decisions in that company for them, or help Tom make them. And, you know, so I quote Zig a lot. We teach the Ziglar philosophy. I was the very first Ziglar Legacy certified trainer. And I believe in his philosophy. It's a complete philosophy of life. And he said, people complain about lack of time, but it's really lack of direction. He also said that a locomotive is free, but it's only free if it's on the track. So you got to get on the proven track of being organized. The third one is training. You know, you can't expect to find good people if you've never been trained on how to find them or hire them or lead them. You can't expect just to be a whiz at marketing if you've never been trained in marketing or sales or systems or accounting. I mean, I got my company in a ton of debt because I had stinking thinking when it came to finances. I just thought, well, you just spend as much money as you want and, you're good at bringing money in. Well, after a while, it became, how do I make all the loan payments? And then I made a decision that I'm going to get debt free. And so we got that company out of debt. I got personally debt free. And right now we could pay off everything that we own if we wanted to, even in our company. But, so we only finance equipment that's going to make money for us, and we never get over leveraged. So we need to be trained in all those disciplines. We need to be trained in the both life and business disciplines. And the last one is community. And I'm convinced to this day that more convinced today than ever before, that the one thing that's going to change everything and cause us to implement the things that we know that we should do is coaching and having a coaching community. So again, the greatest life lesson I've ever learned is that if you want to, is to find whatever it is you want to do, whoever you want to be, whatever you want to have, is find the people who are already where you want to be and that have a plan or a process for you to follow. There's plenty of successful people, but they don't have a process, right? Well, I do this and I do that. Well, why do you do this? Why do you do that? I don't know. I just do. My wife is like that. I mean, she is just a natural. She's from Jersey, like you, and an hour from where you're at, and she's just a natural. I'm not a natural. I'm a poor kid from Alabama, showed up in Houston with 25 cents in my pocket, not very smart. So, I gotta find somebody who has a system. And so that's what I did. I found the successful people and just, copied what they did. And the challenge is this. The challenge is that one coach who maybe is good in marketing or good in leadership or good in finance or good in planning or, whatever, strategic planning, that's just one lane. And we need people in all of those areas. So what I've done is I've created a coaching community that supports our members, that encourages them, holds them accountable. So they learn the proven systems of a phenomenal business and a phenomenal life. And we have a host of experts in our community to help people to move forward. And that's key. Community is key. I wrote a book, as you know, my leadership book is right behind me backwards. So which side is it on? There you go. The Power of Community, because everybody needs support. We need to learn the best way that something can be done. We all need encouragement because we all get stinking thinking. We all hit that wall. We all get a little maybe in the comfort zone. We need a little kick in the pants. So we need some accountability. And we need people around us to help us see who we can become, what we can do. And, that's how I got here. And that's how we help other people get where they want to go.
Something I was just thinking about as you were saying it, you were talking about the beginning about people believe that their belief is this can't happen. Their belief is this won't work. Their belief is this.
Right.
So if you can't believe in yourself first and foremost and something you're capable of doing, I mean, nobody likes being told they can't do something. I think every human on earth thinks I can do it. I'll work hard enough. I want it bad enough. I'm gonna do it. So I think they do have the mindset of doing it. They got to have the belief. You can't have the point of just saying it's never going to work, or somebody in you're saying that's a scam. That's this, that.
Right.
It's up to you to take the chance. Here's an example. I'm not a country boy as far as Alabama. I'm from Northeast Pennsylvania originally. Now that's the country compared to where I went next. I went from there, sold my business, moved to New York City. Now, that is the polar opposite of what I came from. New York City is a big animal. And I became a partner with a longtime friend of mine. And I said, you know what? I might as well get back into the restoration business. Let's form one. I hit this borough called Staten Island. They call it Staten Italy if you're there. I lived in Staten Island, but I knew there was an expressway that went through it. It's a highway. It's a busy, busy highway. Didn't know anybody there. Now, again, I do not have a New York accent, so I do not have the speak of somebody that is from New York or native to New York. But I hit the door. I bought a crappy mailing list from Info USA. Mm-hmm. You took this list. Some of these people were not even on this earth anymore. Some of the people sold the business. They moved on. They gave it to their kids. So you mined the list and figured out. Hit that door and just said, hey, Mr. Smith, I'm Rob from What Out Now. I just want to tell you a little bit about our company. Start getting into it. And you start to develop a sense of belief. And one of the things that I think made us successful is I was genuine. I learned their craft. I learned about what they wanted, what was important to them. Yeah. I learned what they did. I'd show up on jobs when they were repairing a pipe and understood how they were sweating a pipe. I learned how they were putting things. You take the time to believe in yourself so you feel confident in what you're telling people.
Right.
And I really thoroughly believe, if more people believe in themselves, and again, go back to nobody likes being told they can't do it. I certainly don't. And I have ADD. I'm not talking entrepreneur ADD. I have ADD. It's a real example of I have to focus and sit down and write things down and go back to them over and over again and memorize them because I don't have a natural sense of focus. I have to force focus. I have to teach myself focus. I have to teach myself to do it. Even though my body says, you got 8 things going on, you could focus on 8 things. My father used to call it best. In a business, there is a jack of all trades that many people have heard of. He called it a jackass of all trades because you can't be good at everything. Right. You got to focus on what you're really good at.
Right.
I think that's one of the problems is people get this big, wide range of, I got to do this. How about start with a checkoff list and say,
yeah, you gotta be focused. I think there's 2 kinds of people listening right now. There's my mentor used to tell me that people fall into one of 2 ditches. They fall into the ditch of guilt or the ditch of pride. There's people who are listening right now and said, oh, I can do it. Maybe I just don't want to do it. You're not the boss of me. Well, the thing is that if you humble yourself just a little bit and get some coaching, then you might keep yourself from falling in that ditch. Okay. Other people are, so some people may really believe in themselves, maybe a little too much, but they don't believe in other people, or they don't believe in getting advice from other people, because this is a big problem in coaching, because people somehow, I think they wouldn't say this, but they have this idea that if you help me get out of the ditch or you help me be successful, then somehow that takes away from my self-worth because I didn't do it. Entrepreneurs are very creative. They want to make their own way, but that's really dumb. I mean, I tried that. Oh yeah, I just selling up. Don't worry about how much money who needs a budget? We had a consultant. I didn't listen to him. We paid him $2,400 a month. Would Howard listen to him? No. It's about my life balance sheet. What is that? Income statement. Who needs that? Yeah. But when I decided to humble myself and listen to a coach who said, listen, you got to price right. You got to get your direct labor down. You got to do this. You got to do that. And then I became more successful. Here I'm living my dream life because I decided to listen to other people. Then there's another kind of person that's over there in the guilt ditch. That's kind of like, Howard's, he's kind of smooth and Rob's kind of smooth and Rob's got a podcast, everything. That's just not me. They're in that guilt ditch that, and the first principle in this book is the potential principle. And Mr. Ziegler says, that you're born to win, designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, endowed with the seeds of greatness. After all, God don't make no junk. You're here for a reason. You have value. You have potential. And most people who are listening live in the United States of America. I mean, the fact is, if you're listening to this, you have Wi-Fi. If you have Wi-Fi, you can be successful. You can do a podcast. You can write a book, sell a book. You can sell stuff online. there are no excuses. I noticed that the title of your thing is Service Without Excuses. How about success? Definitely service with no excuses. How about success with no excuses? Listen, if you're able to listen to this, you're able to become, to be, do, and have all that you want out of life. Okay. And so if you don't think that you're up to it, or you think, well, you know, I can't find good people, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that, that can all be fixed. But first, you got to fix this right here. You got to fix your vision. You got to fix your belief. You got to fix your stinking thinking and get a checkup from the neck up. So don't be prideful, humble yourself. Don't be like have a poor self-image, and most people do. People who are prideful, that's a poor self-image that's just manifest in a different way, is you can do this. You can do this, and you'll do it better with a coach. You'll do it better with a community around you. You'll do better when you stay focused and you stay organized and you get training. Okay. You're listening to this, and that's great. That's a great start. But so,
it's a start. It's a start. That's it.
You got to start. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. And the fact is, you can be great. You can be phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your human potential.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, no clue.
It's
all of us are scratching around here, like all of us, me included, you included.
Right.
If we had a clue about what we could actually do, be, do, and have, you know, it would scare us.
That's it. That's it. I remember listening to Brian Tracy say this years ago, the amount of information you could take on. It doesn't matter if you studied every day of your life and went to the library and read books. Forget the internet. Forget all the information that's out there today.
Right.
If you spent all of your time reading like you're trying to become a philosopher, you would only get 1/10.
Just a minuscule amount. And at the same time, in fact, Brian did a full day for me back in 2017. We had him at my conference, and we did a little breakout with my leadership group. And we're sitting there in a fairly small group, and people were asking him questions. And one guy said, you know, I really want to get in real estate, but I don't know what to do. He said, just get on the internet and learn everything that you can about real estate. Okay. He said, if you want to be a multimillionaire in real estate, you can do that. You just have to start learning, read every book. And then the other cool thing is that you can become an expert in you can become an expert in any subject that you want, you know?
Right. Yeah. You just have to put your mind to doing something. I mean, I was telling you before, musician. Now I wanted to learn, I started playing music at a very young age, like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
And I was not I told my wife that there's talent and there's skill. There's talent and skill in everything, but let's just stick to music for this one.
Yeah.
A talented person is a person that has natural ability to do something, natural leadership, natural selling technique, natural marketing technique, just a real, you know, that type of personality. A skilled person had to work at it. They had to learn it. They had to do it the old fashioned way. Now I was way more in the skill than the talent level. So I had to work at it. I had to learn scales. I had to learn music theory. I had to learn all stuff. It sucked. It was hard. It wasn't easy. It didn't come natural, especially with ADD. It really didn't come natural. However, I said, you know, just recently I wanted to play a fretless bass. I started picking this thing up like I've played bass forever. I'm going to be fine. And I sucked. It was awful. Now, what do you do at that point? You put the bass down and say, man, this isn't for me. This is way too complex. No, you dig in and say, let's give it more time. Maybe I'll start learning it more and more. Music is no different than business. In fact, the music business is one of the hardest businesses in the world to succeed in. Right. And if you can use your discipline, and musicians use a discipline to be good players. Most of them want to be a better player.
Right.
I adapted my business principles from the core that I learned from music, not necessarily the business side of it. Even though I did learn that down the road, I learned discipline. I learned that you have to dig in, work at it, use your skill instead of your talent, because you have to work harder to get there, but you can still work harder to get there.
Right. Yeah. So one of the principles in this book and in this training is the process principle. And of course, I wrote a book called The 5 Secrets of a Phenomenal Business. And there are 5 areas of a business. And so exactly what you're saying, you just have to become skilled in leadership. You have to become skilled in marketing. You have to become skilled in sales. You have to become skilled in developing operational systems. You have to become skilled in the tracking and the accounting and, I call it administration. And if you're skilled, and that's what I had to do, is I had to get training so I could get skilled. I'm inspired by the possibilities. I see the vision, man, I'm on fire. I get myself organize my time, organize my business, organize my life. And here's the thing, there's a lot to do. So you're going to have to delegate some things. You're going to have to bring a team together. You may not need a lot of people, depends on what you want to do, right? So I want to do a lot. So I got a big team. But if that scares you, start small and become a better leader, get really good at hiring the right people. And you can have a small team and do a lot. Train yourself, train harder than you fight. Business owners fight. They fight hard every day. You train harder than you fight, then, fairly easy.
An athlete. Let's go into the athletic one. My wife is a Tom Brady fan. I'm not talking a New England Patriots fan. I'm not talking a Tampa Bay fan. We can go down there because I was down in Tampa when they were just before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy that's committed. And I know people that are in the NFL, that actually play in the NFL. They're family members more than them, but just the stories I hear back and forth.
Yeah.
You can love or hate the guy, but he has the most unbelievable work ethic.
Yeah.
He does not accept no. It doesn't happen. She followed him since Michigan. She's like, he's going to be a superstar. I know he is, because he's got that mental discipline and the work ethic to make it happen, to be the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
To play the sport, period. I mean, as athletics, but he never backed down. Now, Tom could have said, I've won a few Super Bowls. I'm pretty good, pretty successful. I got a bunch of rings. I'm running out of fingers on my hand. He could have said, I'm done. I can retire.
Yeah.
He's trying to prove the point that you can do something you don't think you can do. And that's become the oldest playing NFL player in NFL history to win a Super Bowl, to play, period.
Yeah.
Think about all the records, because he had his mindset that he could do it. And don't think I'm not Tom Brady. Okay. Tom Brady was a scrappy kid that came in, I don't know what round in the draft, but it was way down there. He was not somebody that they thought in the beginning was going to be that superstar. Never could have foreseen this. New England just took the shot and said, that's it. He got the shot when Drew Bledsoe, got taken out of it and got hurt. So he proved that he can do it. He came from nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't have the opportunities. He didn't have this first round draft. Tom Brady, I think he was like 15th or something. It's insane. It wasn't even like this is the greatest player of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was focused on making it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I was thinking about John Wooden and, the fact that he was all about practice. When the game comes, when you're in the heat of the moment, it's too late to try to make it up.
True.
Michael Jordan didn't just make all that up. The crazy shots that he made. He was in the gym. I went to a conference many years ago, actually in the cleaning industry with ProChem back in the day, and they had Meadowlark Lemon. I'll never forget what Meadowlark Lemon said. Terrible speaker. I gave him my card. I said, I'm not the best speaker in the world, but I'll help you. You need help, brother. They never called me, but I do remember one thing that he said. And back then it was Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. He said, the reason that they're so good is because they're in the gym every single day, practicing layups, practicing foul shots, practicing that 3-point shot. So when he's in the air and, he's making that turn, the adrenaline and everything, the shot is automatic. Now, if I have to make the shot, the goal is back there behind me, and I have to make the shot behind my back and over my head and while I'm flying through the air, the shot's automatic. I just got to get myself in the position. And so, again, keep listening to things like this, keep the good stuff coming through, work on your belief system that you can do this, get inspired, get yourself organized. There's 5 areas of business. And, that's one of the things we do is help people get the whole picture out on the table, that there's 5 systems in your business. And then get your time organized. I use a planner I use a Ziegler planner that I use. That's what I have right here.
Actually, just downloaded that today. So
yeah, and we teach people how to use that. And then so that's 2: inspiration, organization, training. Train, and then get your coaching community around you and show up for coaching, because you need someone to look from the outside and say, okay, what are you doing? Let's adjust that swing just a little bit. Let's it's like, videotaping your golf shot, right? I'm not a golfer, but when you can see what you're doing, and that's what you need, is you need someone on the outside saying, okay, here's the process. Let's implement the process. All right, you need to move a little bit to the left and move a little to the right, adjust that arm a little bit. That's what it's all about. That's how you get better.
Well,
all of us get better.
With every great player is a great coach. And to go along that, Bill Belichick. Okay. Yeah. So Tom Brady went down there. He proved something. He could prove he can do it. If anybody listening to this believes that Tom Brady would have gotten where he was at without Bill Belichick,
no way.
You are fooling yourself. You're sinking your thinking, so to speak. There is no way that he would have ever gotten to that level. And he'll admit that to this day. They are not like on the greatest terms, but he will never, ever talk negatively about Bill Belichick, because he knows without that genius behind him to help guide him and mold him in the direction he needed to be, he would have never become the GOAT. It never would have happened. Yeah. Jordan, same thing. Without Phil Jackson, wouldn't have happened. Larry Brown, I'm a Sixers fan. Allen Iverson, incredible player with the biggest heart you've ever seen. Like small guy, I'm 6'2". I'm a tall guy. I'm nothing in the NBA. Yeah. What the hardest shot, you talk to a professional basketball player, any basketball player, the hardest shots are when they sit on the line there to shoot the 2 points, because they've now psyched themselves out that they can't make the shot. They know they've got a line of their players on this side, a line of the competing players on the other side, and it's just them and the goal and the net. And that's the shots they have the hardest time making, because they've stressed themselves out. They can't do it. And then meanwhile, they'll throw the ball from half the court.
Right. Again, it's totally mental.
Yep.
Yeah, totally mental. Yeah.
Howard, I know we're getting to the far end of the podcast. What are some words of, you've given me so many words of wisdom on the podcast. We could be here for hours on this.
Sure.
But what are some things you could suggest to somebody that really is in that funk, that mental block that is saying, I can't do it? Like I was paraphrasing the story in the first place, that says, I can't do it. I'm stopping. It's not right. I'm not giving it the time or the oxygen it deserves.
Yeah, you need to get a tormentor in black. That's what you need. And I'll tell you a story. When I first started this, I had a very successful service company. To this day, it's turnkey. It makes a ton of money, and I get to live my dream life. I have a great staff. Everybody loves their work. Got great systems. I don't even have to be there ever. Like at all, ever.
That's a business.
Ever.
Yep.
Okay. And I started this. Why did I start this? Because I wanted people to be able to experience having a turnkey business. But I didn't know this industry. I didn't know this business. And so I've got a successful business. So I start this new business. And guess what happens? I end up doing everything myself. I'm doing all the coaching. I'm doing all the traveling. I'm doing all the speaking. I'm doing all the I had an assistant, and that's all I had. I had maybe some volunteers to help set up seminars and stuff, but I'm trying to do everything. And, you know, that's what most business owners, I don't care how big your business is, you're in every box, you're wearing every hat, you're involved. And most people are micromanaging. Why? Because you don't have the right people, or you don't have the right systems, or you don't have the right leadership. You need those three things. So I was in Clearwater, Florida, and I was doing an event down there, and I was thinking about quitting. Yeah. Wow. This was 2009. Most people don't know this. The only people that know this are my members. I've shared it. And this is no exaggeration that there's been so much life change and business growth among the people that are in our coaching community, that when I told that story, every time I tell that story, there are literal tears, because you're looking around the room, you've got marriages saved, you got businesses that actually survived all kinds of different things. So anyway, I was like, I don't need to do this. Why am I doing this? I got another job. I mean, you know, I could go do some other kind of business. And my phone rang, and it was a friend that I met through Michael Gerber. And Michael Gerber was one of my mentors. He's been on my stage many times, a great friend of mine. And as a guy that I met through Michael Gerber, and I shared with him that I was struggling, and I sat down with him and shared my vision with him, what I was trying to do. And he said, you know, I think I can help you. And I said, okay. And he told me how much it was going to cost for him to help me. And there was a big lump in my throat. And I thought, okay, you got to make a decision. Are you going to invest in yourself? You're just going to let all of this go away. Now get this. The previous year, Zig Ziglar had been on my stage, and I'm getting to know Tom Ziglar, and I hadn't followed up and built a relationship with Ziglar. So I hired this guy. His name is Mark Ehrlich, and he's dressed like you. He had black pants, I don't know what kind of pants you got on, but he had a black shirt, black jacket, black pants, black shoes. I'm like, why are you at the beach dressed like that? This is Clearwater. Take your shoes off, get out here on the beach. Anyway, so I started working with him, and he showed up at every one of my conferences and dressed in black, had his black moleskin notebook telling me everything that I did wrong. And every time I had an event, well, you know, why'd you do this? And why'd you do that? And so instead of my mentor, I started calling him my tormentor. And that's what I needed. Everybody needs a different kind of coach, right? So I needed a kick my butt coach. You know, I'm hard-headed. And so the tormentor in black is the one who got me to follow up with Ziglar, who got me to do better events, who got me to figure it out. And so I would just say, get yourself a tormentor in black, get you a coaching community, get you a coach. If you need some perspective and you're stuck, get a coach, get the right coach. Now there's plenty of coaches out there. Get on my website, get involved with us. We will help you. We can help you. We've helped thousands of people. Get a process and a coach. Our most successful members just do two things. They learn our processes and they implement them. And the reason that they implement them is because they get coaching and they have people around them that are holding them accountable.
I had to explain to somebody what the difference was. In fact, I did a podcast on it between coach and consultant.
Yeah.
I says, I can do both because I know how to hold myself accountable. And I sure as hell will hold you accountable if I need to. I have no bones about it. And I've had no problem telling people, you're not going to do the work. Yeah. We're wasting each other's time. So you have to be able to tell somebody that. And I had to learn that from somebody that said, you're an idiot, you know, more than once. That's the dumbest, you know, and I won't get into some of the language, but it was very direct, like you just said, to a point that said, you know what, that's just dumb. My first mentor was, multi, probably worth $20 million easily, probably has it in the bank. And he was just straightforward. And I remember him saying, you know what, when somebody asks you how something's working, like an advertising thing, and you say, it doesn't work, and I think that's really killing me. He goes, you should never, I won't paraphrase again the language used, but it was not nice.
Yeah.
It was that those words should never come out of your mouth again. You can do your own interpretation. He goes, business is good. Life is good. You're good. Everything around you is good. People don't want to deal with people that are unsuccessful and they're crybabies and they're whiners. They don't want to deal with that. And it's the truth. They want to deal with honesty, integrity. And that's what Service Without Excuses is about. It's doing exactly what you say you're going to do every single time without an excuse. People don't pay for effort. They pay for results. They pay for what you're going to give them. Howard, I know you're going to be at the experience. There are people that are going to listen to this. I'm going to be there myself. I'm taking a ride down with some friends. So we're taking an 10, 11 hour trek south. So I know you're going to be there. So they'll be able to see you at the booth there. But other than that, how can people find out about you? How can our listeners learn and know more about you and the systems and programs that you offer?
You bet. So go to howardpartridge.com and you're going to get a free training. And you go through that training, and then you're going to be able to qualify from there to see if we're the right fit for you. And no matter what, by just staying on my email list, you're going to get tips to build your business, of course, get the books. And but opt in, just go to howardpartridge.com, put your name and your email in there. You'll get a free training. You'll learn what we're all about, and stay on that list. And, get in the community, get in the coaching community so you can learn our systems and you can, have the results that you really want.
I appreciate it very much. And I can attest that Howard is an unbelievable coach that runs an incredible company in Sugar Land, Texas, outside Houston. Is that correct?
That's where my service company is. My Phenomenal Products team, they're all remote, and I'm here in Destin half the time, most of the time in the spring and summer. So,
yeah, like I said, you're where you're at right now. I says, it's a good environment when the sand looks the same color as snow. And if you've been in Florida, you've been on the Gulf Coast area. I was just in Clearwater maybe about a month ago, and my wife had not seen white. She's seen snow or sand from all over the world, but had not seen Clearwater sand. And I was like, it gets better if you go a little bit north to Destin. I've been there once. And I was like, this is paradise.
It really, truly is. It truly is. And I feel blessed to be here.
And that's ultimately for our listeners. Howard just poured out his story to you from nothing to living his dreams. Mm-hmm. You have to figure out what your dreams are.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how you're going to get there. You need guidance to get there. And without that, it's a pipe dream. It's not possible. But a pipe dream doesn't have to be a pipe dream. It can be a dream and a reality. So
that's right.
Howard, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate you being on today. I can't tell you how much this means to me, and I look forward to seeing you in Florida. And again, to our listeners, thank you so much to Sotellus for sponsoring this podcast. Sotellus is the Cadillac when it comes to review management software. New book I got coming out is called Welcome to the Review Society Between 1880, Why It Matters. And it's the truth. And I have Troy actually wrote the foreword to it. So he just sent it over to me today. So I'm in the final editing process of it, but I learned it living in 3 different markets, and that's the society you're in today. And you shouldn't run from bad feedback. That's for a different day.
Yeah. No, I love those guys. I had them out at my conference a couple of times. So good. I'm
awesome.
Looking forward to reading that book.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it, Howard. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
You got it.